The Everglades, 4,300 square miles of rivers, jungle, mangrove swamps, and wild animals. After we leave US Highway 41, also known as Alligator Alley, it's 7 miles down this rough dirt road till you arrive at Sweetwater Strand. This is Sweetwater Strand. And this little green heron was waiting for me the minute I stepped out of the car. He's a friendly little guy. And look who else was waiting for me. I was so busy fiddling with my camera when I got out of the car that I almost stepped on this guy. Boy, that would have been a mistake. The large tree on the right is a giant cypress tree. This is a typical high and dry spot between the swamps. There are many pools like this in the Everglades, full of wild birds, like these Ibis, both full-grown and immature. These are American coots. They like to feed in the shallow waters of the Everglades. Here's a school of fish. There are millions of fish in the Everglades, while the otters and the ahingas and the other water birds will make short work out of them. Every so often the ahinga has to find a tree so he can sit there and dry out his feathers. Trees are not hard to find in the Everglades. This is a beautiful bird. Here's an ahinga now, just drying his wings in the sun. The sun will dry him off very quickly, and he'll be back in the water to fish again. The cycle goes on all day. This ahinga has caught a catfish, and he's busily preparing dinner. He likes his fish tenderized. This cycle goes on all day. Fishing, drying out, fishing, drying out. That's how it is in the Everglades, day after day. This ahinga just scared that little green heron right out of his way. He's kind of a bully. He likes to push people around. This is a black-crowned night heron. They're a little harder to spot in the Everglades, but after a while you'll find where to look. This is a turkey buzzard, and we were very fortunate to sneak up on this guy while he was on the ground. He doesn't seem to be afraid of me though. Here's another turkey buzzard I found way back in the swamp off Route 41. Route 41 is also called Alligator Alley. Can you imagine why? I came across a dove and a grackle in the undergrowth. They seem to get along okay. That's because there's plenty of food in the Everglades. Nothing to fight about there, except eating each other, of course. This is a flock of glossy ibis. I really don't get to see them very often. It must be a good year for glossy ibis. Next we come to the white ibis. The white ibis is very common in Florida, and you see them everywhere. They're a beautiful bird to watch. I have found the white ibis in all parts of the Everglades. This is an immature blue heron. Here's a little green heron that's caught a fish, and he's very busily preparing it for dinner. It seems to be quite a process. And this is an immature green heron. Watch how easily he catches his dinner. He's a very patient fisherman. Watch, he's about to make his move. Ah, another delicious snack. Now here's a great blue heron with a nice fresh catfish. He's gonna gobble that right down as soon as he prepares it. Watch this little blue heron chasing fish. I thought he was pretty funny myself. See that pelican come by? He was thinking about stealing the fish right from under the heron's nose. This poor guy wasn't very successful while I was there, and I didn't have all day to wait. So I just went on my way, and he was still running all over the shallows when I left him. Strangest heron I've ever seen. Now here's a great little series on the great blue heron. I've seen the great blue heron fish in rivers, streams, ponds, and even people's backyard fish ponds. They don't care where they get the food from, they just fly in and get it. I've seen them catch goldfish out of a 6-foot pond in a person's backyard. They are keen-eyed fishermen and are seen all over the Northeast. I see them back here on my own lake all the time. They love to fish and they love to sit in the sun. Beautiful birds. That's the great blue heron. Here he is now preparing his dinner. That's the great blue heron. Now this is the immature great blue heron. It's hard to believe that this white bird turns into such a beautiful animal as the blue heron. They can be found just about everywhere in the Everglades. They like to fish in the swamp lettuce and along the stream banks and pools in the Everglades. And they're pretty nice to look at too. As you can see, we find them everywhere. They appear to have no fear of alligators. This next section is about the little blue heron. I really enjoy both filming and watching them. They can be pretty comical at times, as you can see by the earlier clip of the little blue heron fishing. They like to feed in the swamp lettuce and off of tree limbs and stumps and along the banks of streams. They're very interesting behavior. while I was investigating about a mile and a half in from the highway, I came across this pool with a whole flock of ibis, both mature and immature. The immature are the ones with the brown. The brown ibis, again, are the immature ibis. They're very interesting behavior. Just watch them take their baths and now this is a luxury spa. These are cypress knees. No one's really sure what they do, but they are part of the cypress tree, and they're found all over the swamps in the Everglades. The ibis are always searching for a meal. Well, they're free meals. They might as well. They'll eat frogs and snakes and just about anything else that's alive. The ibis likes to hang around in groups. There's a lot more security in numbers. Everybody knows that. This guy's got some little friends. This area is called 6 Mile Slough, and it's a great spot. I've seen all kinds of wildlife here. We'll just start right off with this beautiful pileated woodpecker. They are the hardest bird to photograph. They never stand still for a second, and they hide behind leaves and branches. They're very shy. They do make a lot of noise though, so they're easy to find when you're looking for them. Just watch this one work his way around this tree. Very difficult to photograph. We were very fortunate to sneak up on this otter. He was eating a large fish, and believe me, this was a tough shot to get. This is a red-shouldered hawk. They are a very beautiful bird, and they can be found just about anywhere in the Everglades. Here are two more angles of the red-shouldered hawk. I have magnified them for you because he was really hard to see in the brush. Now here's a stork, and he's going to be mixed in with many of the other birds that you've seen in this video. You can see some immature ibis there, some mature ibis, and as we go on, you're going to see some immature blue heron. Many times you'll see them all roosting together. They seem to like each other's company. There we are with the stork in front. Then there's an immature blue heron, an ibis, and another immature blue heron on the right. Now he's showing off. He's such a handsome bird. Now there's a face you have to love. Here's the Florida alligator. I guess you'd have to say he's at the top of the food chain. Although he might be overtaken by the pythons and the anacondas one of these days, because they've been known to grab alligators and eat them. I'm keeping a sharp eye out for all of them. Believe me, they're much quicker than they look. They can outrun you. So be very careful. What a nice smiling face. Should I take him home? Would he make a lovely pet? I don't think so. Remember, you must never get too close to these guys. They can run faster than you can, so you have to be very careful around alligators. This is the gopher tortoise. Never pick them up, never put them in the water. They can't swim. They're also endangered, so the best thing to do is to just leave them alone. They live off the tender greens that grow around their burrows that they dig in the sand. Unfortunately, they're very slow, so they're not good at running away. So that's a big problem for the gopher tortoise. That's why they're endangered. These are the Florida red-bellied turtles. They sure know how to swim, and they are very nervous. This guy's having a problem getting up on that log. He doesn't really care though, because he's got all day. You can find the Florida red-bellied turtle just about everywhere where you find fresh water in Florida. This is a monarch butterfly. They're very hard to photograph. Very rarely do you get one to ever pose for you like this. Not in my world anyway. This is the Florida state butterfly. It's called the zebra, and it's probably the most photographed butterfly in the whole state of Florida. This is a young white-tailed deer. There were two of them, and we were very lucky to be able to stalk them. Here are a few other things we spotted while filming in the Everglades. This is a scene from the Corkscrew Swamp. This is called Pentis lanceolata. This is an apple snail. This is a swamp lily. And this is pickerel weed. We found these baby raccoons feeding in the stream bed. We watched them for quite a while. They're really a lot of fun to watch. The mother is usually nearby. Well, it's been a lot of fun, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. This is Walt Barrett saying goodbye for now.